there's a change. This is what I want to kind of allude you to. So the top picture here, okay, this right here is the iliac crest. Okay, this is the iliac crest. This right here is the acetabulum. This here is the arc of motion that that acetabulum goes through when the pelvis rotates. When the pelvis rotates in the sagittal plane, that acetabulum, will you agree, would change in its position in space. Right? And here's kind of the elliptical path that acetabulum may follow from a posterior to an anterior rotation. So there's the acetabulum. Here's the femur and the tibia. Here's the leg, and here's the little foot over here. So this is a patient that is in a normal position. This is normal right here. Top picture. If I have a functional leg length discrepancy, so this patient that had a leg was long and then it got shorter, if it changed, okay, if the leg gets shorter, from supine to long sit, that's the second scenario here. That patient, okay, that patient has a posteriorly rotated innominate. The pelvis on one side is rotated posteriorly. Well, how does that make the leg shorter? It makes the leg shorter because we have to appreciate this elliptical path that that acetabulum follows. Do you see where that acetabulum is on this patient? You see how that acetabulum is further back on that arc? So it's going to effectively, it's going to make the leg appear shorter. You guys with me? All right, so a posterior rotation is going to take that acetabulum in its normal position and move it backwards, and that's going to make the leg shorter. Conversely, the third picture here is an anterior rotation. The anterior rotation is going to make the leg longer. Why? Because the acetabulum is kind of at the further apex of that elliptical path. And so that leg is effectively going to, it's almost going to appear like it lengthens as it gets longer. So the test is easy. The interpretation is challenging, because here's the interpretation. Okay? I didn't make this up. Here's the positional fault. So here's the functional or structural issue going on. This is what we find in supine. This is what we find when they come to long sitting. So if it's a right upslip problem, that right side is shorter in both positions. If it's a right anterior, in supine, that is longer, and it gets shorter as they come to long sitting. Why? Because that's this scenario right here. It's anterior, it's long. When they come to sitting, it gets shorter. If it's a posterior rotation, it's shorter, just like this scenario here. It's shorter in supine, and it seems to get longer when they come to sitting.